Alright, one sec. That's right. Odd Tempest can be used on flyers. This basically makes Palla like a scary version of Tibarn. A scarier version of Tibarn. Right? Because Dive Bomb allows you to attack twice without your opponent counterattacking. And as long as you run her, right, if the number of flying units on team is 3 or more, unit initiates combat, inflicts attack defense -4 on foe during combat, and unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. In other words, it turns into a brave weapon. Well, actually, it's not a brave weapon, but with Dive Bomb, it's essentially a brave weapon. If the number of allies within 2 spaces is over 2 and unit initiates combat, unit attacks twice, right? So it can become a brave weapon, but it's automatically doubling as long as you run her with other flyers. And then with the Odd Tempest, she's actually incredibly scary. Dive Bomb allowing you to attack twice without getting counterattacked at 58 attack, right? And dropping their attack and defense by 4, so essentially 62. And then if you out-attack your opponent, you get another 5 here, 67. And with... Well, Gale Force doesn't work perfectly, right? Because it's still... you'll be off by 1 cooldown. But it's good enough that your next battle will give it to you. So, yeah, great Palla. It's funny how, like, of the White Wing sisters, Katia and S get all the attention. And then Ice recognized that and gave Palla, you know, the trio hero. Made her the trio hero. So, yeah, Palla's actually really, really good. And actually balances it out. Katia, S, Palla are all really good flyers. As for attack smoke, I don't think this is really necessary. But it really doesn't matter what you use here. So, yeah, sure, use attack smoke. If you're worried about damage, use Death Blow. But yeah, that's about it. Attack defense solo could also be really worthwhile, since you're outrunning your allies, right? With Odd Tempest, that's likely to happen. But yeah, I mean, if you're staying within 2 spaces, having a solo skill could be make things a lot more complicated than it needs to be. So it's up to you. But I wouldn't bother with attack smoke. She should be eliminating her opponents. Her defense and res are okay, but they're not great. Have you ever heard of a certain masterpiece known as Baten Kaitos? Yes, I have. Isn't it that card game on GameCube? For dual skill, she is always moving 3 spaces, like you said. Oh yeah, that's right. If in the hands of a player, absolutely, right? Because odd turns she moves 3 spaces, and then on even turns she moves. Yeah, that's actually perfect. I forgot that, even though we talked about this. Wait. At start of odd number turns, if dual skill has already been used, unit can use dual skill again. Okay. It's not perfect. I believe someone talked about this earlier on. They said if the even Tempest ever became a thing, Pal would love it, because they would just be constantly dual skill, odd Tempest, or even Tempest, dual skill, even Tempest, dual skill, even Tempest. And then she just be moving 3 all the time. Flowers, why did you say level 40? Oh, Flashing Blade 4. Okay, yeah. Minus res is probably like the most ideal stat you can get. You guys want to know a fun fact or a fun little thing about math? The lower your res is, the more area bar does. Now, of course, you'll take less damage if you had proper res, but because by having minus res, you take slightly more damage, that means the 40% is covering for slightly more. So having minus res isn't bad at all. Yeah, if anything, I'd take minus res over plus HP. So that's actually probably as ideal as it gets when it comes to Bane. With that said, area bar, reposition Gale Force, Flashing Blade 4, Atrocity, Panic Smoke 3, and Speed Res Solo 3. This is actually really good. When he attacks, he has 51 plus 5, 56 speed. And 56 speed is definitely enough for Flashing Blade. His attack is 5 plus 5 with another 25% of the unit's attack. So he's hitting super hard. The probably only issue with a build like this is that you might hit so hard that your opponent dies before you get to trigger everything, which is unfortunate. But that's relatively minor, so I think it's fine. Yeah. That's actually so funny how like one of the biggest issues for some of these heroes nowadays is just they might kill, which is funny because of course you want them to kill.
You know why it took so long for Hel to join?
Why?
Because she's ugly AF. No one wants her. Freya on the other hand, I predict this month or next mythic banner.
Okay, well, you're just being mean. I find Hel attractive. There's something about Jello girls, guys. Outside of that though, yeah. You know, you remind me exactly about Vic. He also doesn't learn a bunch of like important skills. Panic Smoke, yeah, I do agree with that. Panic Smoke gives you Omni Smoke. You have literally every smoke once you get your attack off with Atrocity, right? Attack speed, defense, res -5. It's supposed to cooldown count +1 on target and foes, aka Panic Smoke, or sorry, Pulse Smoke, and then now you give him Panic Smoke. Literally every smoke possible. So yeah, it gives him the best possible chance of surviving after the battle as well. No, I really like this build. My only worry is you hit too hard, but there's really nothing you can do about it. So yeah, great job. Keep it as is. He doesn't lack damage because Atrocity and Flashing Blade provides true damage, and Area Bar improves your stats. And then of course with the damage reduction, yeah, it's literally perfect. There are 2 Dimitris that I really like: the Gale Force Dimitris and then the Super Tank, DC Super Tank Dimitri. So those are both really good. 18 res. I'll just stop reading the stats because we're seeing so many Dimitris. It actually warms my heart to see like Dimitri is actually as popular as people actually said he is. Because everyone keeps telling me Dimitri's like super popular. But then I'll be honest, like I see more Black Eagle fans and more Golden Deer fans than Blue Lions. Yes, I'm aware there are Blue Lion fans. Yes, absolutely, you guys exist. It's just I'm much more aware of the other 2 groups. But then Dimitri got launched, and now I'm pretty much hearing a lot of Blue Lion fans talk. With that said, a triple Rouse build is perfectly good on Dimitri. The entire idea is to keep him pretty much alone anyways. Actually, that's not true. It's Edelgard that's the one who wants to be alone. Legend Edelgard. But yeah, attack speed solo 3 with attack defense solo. I would probably have ran attack res solo because his only speed res solo because his only weakness is his res, and you need as much speed as possible to get Air Bar to trigger really well. Because in this current build, you only have 47 speed, and that's really not enough. Speed res solo would probably be better, but I think you probably did that on purpose to avoid it. As for Rouse attack defense, I think this is overkill because they touch him and he kills them in one shot. So if you're going to go for a build like this, I would use Noontime. That way you heal it back up immediately. But other than that, like, yeah, I would probably go for speed res solo, and then I'd use something else here. Rouse speed defense solo maybe. But yeah, if you want to do Rouse attack defense, is perfectly fine as well. It's just I don't really think you really need more attack or defense. His attack and defense with Area Bar and attack defense solo is already adds 11. But yeah, if you switch to speed res solo, then I can see the attack defense solo. Cornflake, 40 plus 10 plus 15. Wow. This is completely unnecessary. Wait a second, you're using Flowing Lance. Jeez. I'll be honest. I'm of the opinion that Brave Lucinas should all be support Lucinas nowadays, right? She's one of the best support heroes in the entire game. Is there really a need to make her offensive? Answer is no. But if you in fact want to try and make her offensive, I think this is the way. Because when remember when I'm talking about like what to do with Hannah, I was like, I don't want to do flowing, well, the equivalent Flowing Lance, the broom thingy, on Hannah, but I want to do DC Spurn. I did give it a lot of thought. I think in like long send battles, it's better to go for like, well, in this, is there an equivalent? I'm not sure if there is for lances, but I was talking about like going huge fan on Hannah. But outside of that, in general play, having attack defense solo is way better. So the entire same idea, DC Spurn, with attack defense solo is really, really good. All Smoke is really good as well. This is like a sweeper build for Lucina, but I don't think she does it very well. She's been made into a support hero with like specialty against, specializes against dragons, which is really, really good. But yeah, I don't think you need to do this. You have 53 speed and 35 res effectively. 39 defense, 35 res. Yeah, it's solid. It really is solid. It's just you didn't need to do it. I feel like when it comes to the actual battles, you'll just be using her as a support hero. Taking damage, or there's a penalty on his opponent. Attack speed, defense plus 5 to unit, and he gets guard. Additionally, it's now attack speed, defense, res plus 3. It's fully just Fury 3 now, which is good. Yeah. There's also res. And then Desperation works perfectly well. Definitely run a Brazen on. So yeah, double Fury to get you to Brazen instantly. That is 12 damage. I'll just assume it's 80% because I'm tired. And then yeah, Speed Smoke is fine. I think we checked this out yesterday actually. Speed Smoke is fine, but also Attack Smoke is really good. But Speed Smoke probably keeps him alive guaranteed, so it's up to you. Attack Smoke is also really good. Whichever smoke on him is really good. As long as you just... Actually, yeah. Any smoke is good because as soon as you attack, everybody's smoked up. Okay, that sounds goofy. And then you get your +5 to all stats. But then with the Fury, you would have triggered it anyway, so either one's fine. You know, 40 +10 +7 Ferdinand. Nowadays, I think Steady Stance 4 is like overkill on a hero like Ferdinand. Ideally, it's Steady Posture 3, right? You can sacrifice 2 defense for much more speed, and Ferdinand's speed is not bad at all. If he did that, I would agree with this build a lot more. But yeah, it's expensive. Surters are a lot easier to give up nowadays. I think I'm going to just merge all my Surters. I originally held Steady Stance 4, but with all these new skills, like Steady Posture, you know, sacrifice 2 defense for 6 more speed, for example. That's crazy amount of extra stats, so... I personally would switch out Vanguard from Defense Refine to Speed Refine. That way with Steady Posture, you get to 47, and that's a lot easier to double with than 44. Well, that said, 39 defense is good. At base is good because Vanguard adds 7, Steady Stance adds 8, and Steady Posture adds 4, so that's 19. That gets you 48, or sorry, 58. That's overkill. Refine this for speed, and then you got a really good Ferdinand. If you can switch this one day to Steady Posture, that's even better. Mystic Boost is overkill, I would say, but it stretches out your stats even more. Running LOL, oh, there it is. I was gonna say running LOL attack speed or LOL attack defense would fit way better. So yeah, switch that to LOL attack speed, attack smoke, Steady Posture 2. Steady Stance 4 with a speed refined Vanguard would be perfect with a bonfire.